three body parts: a head, thorax, and abdomen. Bees have 6 legs, 4 wings, and 5 eyes. The 2 large compound eyes on the side of the head have thousands of little lenses that let the bees see in all directions. The 3 small eyes on the top of the head are sensitive to light. They let the bees know when to start working and when to rest at the end of the day. The 2 antennae are for smelling, touching, and maybe hearing. The worker bee has a stinger and that has ridges in it. When she stings, the ridges get stuck in the victim's body and her stinger gets pulled off her body, so she dies when she stings. She stings to protect the colony. A worker bee is smaller than a drone or a queen. She is about half an inch long. Bees have a bunch of different body parts. The workers have pollen baskets that collect honey. Queen bees have smooth stingers. Drones don't have any stingers.
Metamorphosis. The queen bee lays the eggs. Each day she lays between 1,200 and 2,000 eggs. After a few days, the eggs hatch into larvae. The worker bees feed the larvae royal jelly, a milky substance that is made in the bee's head glands, for the first 2 days. Then they are fed bee bread, honey mixed with pollen. After 9 days, the worker bees cover up the cells with wax. The larvae have made cocoons and change to pupae. After 12 days, the larvae are adult bees. They chew their way out of the cells and are welcomed and fed by the worker bees. It takes different amount of days for each bee to hatch. The worker bee takes 20 days, the drone takes 24 days, and the queen only takes 16 days. The queen bee eggs are only laid when she is getting old or thinking about leaving. They are laid in a big cell, and the larvae are fed royal jelly the whole time, so she grows bigger than the other bees.
Hi, my name is Alex. Today I'm going to talk about flower pollen and nectar. Flowers and honeybees depend on each other in a special way. Flowers produce a sweet liquid called nectar, and they make pollen. Bees need both of these things for food. The worker bee's body is perfectly made for collecting nectar and pollen and bringing it back to the hive. Pollen sticks to its hair on her body as she moves from flower to flower. Her back legs have long, strong hairs called pollen baskets. As she flies, she pushes the pollen off her body and packs it into the pollen baskets. The mouth of a worker bee has long proboscides, or a tongue that is like a straw to sip the nectar out of the flowers. The worker has a special stomach called a honey stomach for storing the nectar. As the bee moves from the flower, she is helping the flowers too. When the bee brushes against the flower stamen, the pollen sticks to her. When she lands on another flower, the pollen may drop into the pistil. It goes down the pistil and fertilizes the seed. It will cause a new flower and seed to grow. This is called pollination.
Queen. The queen is the largest honeybee in the hive. There can only be one queen at a time. She starts out as a plain worker egg, but she is fed differently. The queen larva is only fed royal jelly, not bee bread. Her abdomen grows much larger than the worker bees. She chews her way out of her cells as an adult honeybee. She quickly finds the cells of the other growing queens and stings them to death. A queen has a special type of stinger that is meant for stinging other bees without killing her. Her stinger is designed to pull out her victim without getting stuck, so she does not die when she stings. When she is the only queen left, she flies out of the hive and the drones follow her. When she comes back, she will spend all of her time mating and laying eggs. She lays thousands and thousands of eggs. When she gets old or when she is about to leave the hive, the worker bees will know to grow a new queen. A queen can live up to 5 years.
Drones. A drone is a male bee. They are different from the female worker bees. They are bigger. They have no pollen baskets or wax plates, and their tongue is not made to sip nectar. They don't even have a stinger. They are fed by the worker bees and have no jobs. They are needed to mate with the queen. Drones are born in separate larger cells. They are fed differently from the worker bees. This may seem like an easy life, but when the summer is over and the food supply is getting low, the worker bees chase the drones from the nest and they die.
Honey. The process of changing nectar into honey begins in the bee's honey stomach. As she flies back to her hive, the chemicals in her body begin to start changing. At the hive, she empties the nectar into the mouth of younger bees. The bees roll the nectar up on their tongue to evaporate the water. Then they put the nectar into honeycomb cells. Other bees fan their wings over the nectar to evaporate raw water. When the nectar thickens into honey, the bees cover the cell with wax. Wax cells are opened up in the winter when there's not a lot of food left, and the bees feast on the honey. Beekeepers put hives where the bees are easily find them. When bees have stored a lot of honey for themselves, the beekeepers take the leftover. People have been keeping bees since ancient times. They knew about honey before they knew about sugar. They used it to sweeten food and to preserve fruits and vegetables. Also, Egyptian mummies were wrapped in honey to preserve them. Beekeepers figure out that when the hive is filled with smoke, the bees become still. Some beekeepers still use smoke when they're collecting honey.
Worker bees. Many people have heard of the saying, busy as a bee. This is very true of female bees. That is why they are called the worker bees. The worker bees start working as soon as they are born. The job depends on their age. When the worker is 0 to 3 days old, she keeps the cells warm by resting on them, cleans the cells, and helps the new babies chew their way out of the cells. At 3 to 5 days old, she feeds the bee bread to older larvae. When the worker is 5 to 12 days old, she produces royal jelly to feed the queen and the new larva. She also attends to the queen and feeds the older larva bee bread. When she is 12 to 21 days old, she produces wax to build and repair the hive. At 2 to 3 weeks old, she works near the hive entrance to get used to being outside. During this time, she fans her wings to cool down the hive and to evaporate water from the honey. She receives nectar, pollen, and places it into the cells, and she guards the hive. Finally, when she is between 3 to 6 weeks old, she gathers nectar and pollen from flowers. In the summer, when workers are really busy, they usually only live for about 6 weeks. In the winter, they can live up to 6 months.
Bee dance. We know honeybees can't talk, but they have an amazing way of communicating. When a worker bee discovers a lot of new flowers, she excitedly returns to the hive and communicates information about the smell of the flowers and how far away they are. She can also give directions for the other bees to get the flowers. By doing a special dance, if the flowers are pretty close to the hive, the scout dances in circles on the honeycomb. When the flowers are farther away, she needs to give better directions. She does a dance called the figure eight, or the waggle dance. If the flowers are in the direction of the sun, she moves a straight line of wiggles her abdomen. If the flowers are the opposite direction, she moves down the honeycomb. She She can also signal the bees should go right or left. If the dance is done very quickly with her wings moving really fast, that means the flowers are closer. If she dances slowly and has a softer buzzing sound, that means the flower can be up 2 miles away.
Hive. Out in the wild, a colony of honeybees will find a dark, protected place to make their hive. A good spot would be a hollow tree trunk. Beekeepers who raise bees for their honey make beehives out of wood. The hives are built so that the honey can be removed without destroying the hive. The honeybees build their homes out of wax. The female worker bees make wax inside of their bodies. It comes out of their abdomen in small pieces called wax scales. When bees are making wax to build the hive, they hang in chains. The hanging stretches their bodies and lets the wax ooze out. They use their legs, jaws, and body to push and shape the wax in a perfect hexagon-shaped cell. The shape of the hexagon is good because it uses up all the available space. If the cells were shaped like circles, it would waste a lot of space between them. The wax cells form the comb. The cells can hold food, pollen or honey, or babies.